Welcome back. And in this one, we need to talk about components. I want to add a header and a footer, and we are not going to copy paste the header and the footer on to each component. Of course, we will not. So on Vue, you have pretty much two ways of linking or creating components. You have the global way and you have the local way. Now, this source directory, the one that we have right here, is going to get much bigger. It will get much bigger. So it's always a good idea to keep everything super tight. So by convention, what we do, we go here, we create a new directory, and every new component that you will use, you put this inside the components directory. And in this case, I want to create a header and a footer. I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to put them inside. Now, I'm going to call it header and footer, so this is super obvious. In real life, I might call this navigation or nav or something like that. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. And inside, I want to create two new files. One is going to be the footer.view, and the other one is going to be the header.view. So let me go here, create a new file. It's going to be header and then dot and then view. Now, on each, we need something. Remember that we cannot have empty components. So on the header, I guess I'm going to go here and I'm going to just return a template from this one. And it's going to be just a simple header. I'm not going to go crazy. Much later, we're going to bring Bootstrap. We're going to do something a little bit more prettier. But for now, I guess this is going to work. So this is the header. And I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it right here. So we need the footer. And I guess I'm going to go here and say that we have a footer and then, footer and then footer. Cool. So now we have two components, the header and the footer, and I want to use them within our application. For now, I'm just going to get rid of all of this, and I'm going to get rid of the style, and I'm going to get rid of the script. Since we have two different ways, one is the global and the other one is the local. Now, first I'm going to show you the global one. If you want to use a global component, you need to register the component within the instance of app. So first, I guess I need to import the header component, header, and then it's going to be from components, header, footer, and then header.view. That's the component. We are just importing it. So we need to tap into the instance of create app and inform that we have a new global component. For this, what we do, we create a const called app. You can call this whatever you want. And inside we do that create app, the one that we are doing right here at the bottom. I don't need to, create again. I can chop it and paste it right here. So right here, we create the instance. And then only then I can call app and keep the mount. And this is all this, it's still going to work. If I go to app and I, do something right here, the application still runs. But now we have an instance, so we can tap into that instance and use different methods that we have available. One of the methods is going to be component. So this means that this component is going to register a global component that we can use throughout the whole application without, doing the import as, import header, import footer, and then use it on each component. It's global. Now, this component method needs two different things. How you're going to call that component and where is that component. So the component that we want to use is the header. And how are we going to call it? This is completely up to you. Convention is app dash and then header. If you're working with clowns, it's going to be app dash clowns and so on. Since now we are registering a global component called header and we call it this way, we can just go to our application to whatever components that we have within our Vue application and just use it. And the application Vue is going to resolve it and give us that component back. We call this header just like that. And we just need to make a mention. And if I go to our application, notice that we get the header at the top. So we are rendering that component that lives inside the components directory. So this is one way of doing things, doing it global. And this is, super useful if you need to use something like a header, something that is going to show within your application every single time on every single page. Then the other way is going to be the local way of doing things by importing. So I'm going to go to the app. I don't need this one anymore. I'm going to go to the app. And within the setup, we need to do import and then whatever is that we need to import. In this case, I guess it's called footer, just like that. And then it's from that / and I'm not getting the autocomplete. I don't know why. So import footer from components, then / I'm going to need to restart this. It's going to be header _ then footer, then / and it's capital footer.view. Hopefully this is working. I'm not sure why it's not giving me the autocomplete, but Sometimes it happens. So import footer. So now I can go to the template and just make a mention to this. If I do a footer just like that, it should be working. If I reload the application or go to the application, we get the footer component. And right here, you can, since this is your main app.view, this is like the main view of your application, you just can create whatever layout that you want. Let's say that you want a div. Inside, you want your app header. And inside of a div, you can have the content of your application. And then at the bottom, I guess you will have the footer. So I'm going to go here and say footer. Now, I don't need the footer. We're going to delete it in a minute. But, this can be the layout of your application. If I reload it, we should be getting the header. Then we have whatever content. And then we have the footer. So this is the way how you import and show components on different components. But by doing it global or by doing it locally. All right, so let's go to the next video, and I'm going to show you a couple things you need to know about the style tag.